The aim of this session is to include all the possible presentations and contributions and investigation that are not under or covered by the other themes. For example, new investigations or new approaches to old problems, or including new readings of old problems can be presented here in this session. There are a room for a lot of collaboration, and we now just have 3 proposals for presentations, and it would be very nice that some other people could present their contribution to this Congress. This is the session Monumental miscellany. Could be an exciting cauldron for ideas, putting together younger and senior researchers, and exploiting and combining known and new ideas. The aim is really that people can present here to other investigators or other researchers their own work, and it could be a field for discussion and improvement in the research of the team that is central for the Congress, not only the megalithic architecture, but the whole world of the mound, of the tumular solutions for burials that span from the prehistory until very recent times. I don't know what else can I say regarding that. If you have any ideas or any questions to present, I'll try to answer. But as you see, this is a very broad, and the scope of this session is very broad. So
I think this session,
almost everything can be there, no?
Of course. I think that session is very important, because often in meetings, what we have and often happens is the meeting opens, and for some reason you didn't submit a session, or you get realized about the Congress a little bit late to submit the session that you want to present your work or where you want to disseminate, and then there's no session where you can put the things that we are working in, right? And it sometimes are big congresses, and our very specialized congresses with very international scope like this one. So having a session with this wider will open the opportunity for us to have, because sometimes it's just one person, and that person can change. Could be like a young researcher that is doing something to completely out of the box that will be very important. I remember to find. Like 10 years ago, I went to the United States to a Congress, and there was this very tiny young girl, very young. No, she was young, and she looked younger than she was, and very small. Really. And what she was doing, she just presented a poster, and what she was doing was working on 3D modeling on low cost, because what she found, she wanted to work on 3D models, but she didn't have money for that. So with the camera that she had, the hand camera, to take pictures, and the phone and some lamps, and she made up with a card box. She made up a setup that allowed to do a lot of work, and that's how she was doing her PhD. She was finishing the master, and she will start the PhD doing that. And what she does presently is low cost 3D modeling. So she actually create this field of work, just like low cost way of doing something that usually it's very expensive.
It's very interesting that example. I remember that I was commenting with other people from the organizing committee. That was, for example, we were lacking here a session dedicated to non-megalithic, or very specifically to non-megalithic mound structures. mostly post-Neolithic and post-Chalcolithic, recalling here the Bronze and Iron Age solutions that still use mound structures to cover the graves. No? And we don't have any special session for this. For example, you can go, I'm going to present a synthesis on what we know already in Portugal regarding these worlds. And as these, we can put there lots of things. For example, I have some colleagues that are presenting their investigation in a small region of the center of Portugal, that the Lafões region near Vizela. This is a new research that started, as you know, Telmo, that started some years ago. And we have a contribution from researcher from Poland that are presenting results from their investigation on non-megalithic structures or tubular structures. So we have still room for many other contributions, both oral or poster, as a poster, or mainly as a poster, because I don't know, it depends on the physical availability of the Congress room, but I think there is still room for several, Anna is telling me, several dozens maybe of posters.
Yes.
Well,
yes.
As you say, young investigators can present and students present their research here. They are all welcome.
Yes. We are getting to our time, right? Yeah. It's 11:20. That will be the time that we would finish, so we have a 10-minute delay. I just want to say that we have great facilities to do the meeting. The center is fantastic. I think it will be a great success, and people will feel good and comfortable during the Congress. The landscape it's amazing, and I think we'll get a lot of people. I truly believe that this meeting will make a breakthrough on the way we see megaliths, and I can see further editions to come, and in other countries and other colleagues to present, the proposal to make the Congress on their countries. It would be great if it would be somewhere far away from Portugal, because that would be what we would look for, to make it really Eurasian as it sounds, So if colleagues from China, from Japan, from Korea, from Russia would be interested on making the second Congress, that would be very pardon me.
We hope so.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
I hope so, because one of the things that I feel in the megalithic meetings is that people usually make the Congress, but it's on a very restricted group of colleagues, and it could be Iberian, it could be like the Great Britain. It could be, and it's very clustered on these ways, on realities, and we don't have this wider scope where we can see we don't have the vision, the interregional vision of it. So I think this is a very good way to do it and approach the megalithic. So congratulations for the organization for putting this up.
Yeah, you belong to the organization too. Okay, I think you can close now.
Okay, so let's close it. Yes, and it's thank you. It was a good morning.